Why is it that we're seeing such a change in influence from scientific communities to people that you would not normally assume would have as much influence as they actually do? And I think it really comes down to our inability as the scientific community, as researchers, to adapt to new technology. If you look at funding structures and you look at university environments, they often penalize anything that is not traditional. Our work, in the way that we actually do our work, I'm an associate professor, so I completely understand, and I do research on a daily basis, is to actually do research. And anything that takes away from that is a taboo. It's a strong norm that we need to violate on any given day if you were to do things like this. And so you see virtually nobody. I maybe am one of the few handful of people that I know. I don't even know anybody personally that's doing this in my research community that's actually reaching out to you on a regular basis. And so you see a lot of people that are kind of in the ivory tower, and you never hear from what they're actually doing. And so the public, the vast majority of the people around the world, never know what's actually going on. And the people that have been not as successful in that domain, in the traditional domain, often veer out and go on and do these non-traditional things. And because of the nature of digital media, social media, whatever you want to call it, the internet today, just broadly the internet, because of the nature that it reaches a lot of people, and a lot of people get to watch and understand what other people actually do, then those people that are not participating on a regular basis are not actually getting the benefits of that. So we're seeing a massive shift in the economy from those that have studied and understood what's going on, the sort of way, the post-World War II phenomenon, where there was researchers and research labs generating new intellectual knowledge, like at the Rand laboratory, for example, to the way it is today, where we've developed strong norms because of the institutional incentives that we have to prevent people from actually doing things that embrace the community. And what we end up having is those people that have embraced it, which generally are not within the scientific or research community, generally are getting much more fanfare. Now, until we start changing these incentives and we start changing these norms, it's not going to change that much. There's going to be a lot of people, we're going to see a lot of social unrest, where those people that are willing to embrace these digital technologies and go head on into these digital technologies, these communication technologies, overtake many of these institutions. And until we as scientists, as we as researchers, start getting brave enough and saying, you know what, we actually have something to say. We have to buck the norm. We have to band together and say that the social norm is actually not doing us any good, of hiding behind our laptops or hiding behind our research papers or in our laboratories. We actually need to start embracing and going out and doing things like this, where we are touching many different people in a very positive way. Until people start seeing this, that science and research is at their fingertips, we're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. And research is going to lose its influence, increasingly so, until we start actually embracing what people want. And unfortunately, I strongly believe our institutions that we have don't want this at this moment, because they themselves have so much institutional friction, inertia, whatever you want to call it, that's very difficult to escape what they've already set up. Because the people that are traditionally in charge are the ones that have grown up in a environment that is not like today. And so we, as researchers, scholars, scientists, PhDs, have to actually start doing this ourselves. We have to get brave enough to stand up and say, I am actually going to tackle this. If you look at all of the YouTubers that are talking on scientific and research topics, inevitably, none of them are PhD researchers, or very few. I don't know who it is. There's the one guy in psychology from Stanford, I believe, and maybe Adam Grant is doing this from time to time. But almost all of us are not participating because we're afraid to do it. We think that what we are going to do is going to be judged. We're afraid, we don't want to stand up, and it is very difficult. The only reason I'm doing this is because I was foolish enough to spend a whole bunch of money of building a platform that essentially I need to get the word out, the reciprocity platform, creating this platform to create non-rejectable research papers and grants. But what I've realized is that even today, and I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, is that this is still considered a weird and strange activity and frowned upon. And many people don't like it, of what I'm actually doing. So until we start embracing the changes that are around us, until we start realizing today's economy is not the way that it used to be, we are going to lose more and more influence. I'm sad to say that's what's going to happen, is that the influence is going to move away from the people that are actually doing the work to those people that are speaking out against the system that we're currently in. So let's be ready for more rocky roads ahead while we don't embrace these things and we simply say, it's not my problem today. We're far past that. We know these platforms, we know these institutions, we know these digital platforms are far more powerful than what everybody gives them credit for. And these institutions that we're part of are slow to move and recognize change. So good luck to us all as we continue to be part of this rocky road called the digital revolution in science. I'm skeptical about what's going to happen next, but I'm also optimistic because if I can do this and I'm a crazy nut that's willing to do this, then so can you. Take care. Have a wonderful day.